As work on the 55 Buick continues in Texas,
Turn.
Carl and his team find an unexpected feature for the time period of this car. Welcome back to Double Clutch.
Frame looks like it's in really good shape. It looks like the steering gearbox was leaking a little bit here in this area on it. The engine had a little bit of an oil leak there. The broken tie rod end, it fell apart when we were moving it out here. This is the brake pedal. Overall though, everything looks like it's in pretty nice shape. We're gonna take it apart, clean it up, repaint it, put it back together, rebush the front end, check the differential in the back, clean everything up, paint, and back together. Let me show you something interesting. This car in 1955 had a heated seat under the driver. It circulated engine coolant through these hoses to a radiator on the upper side, which was between the floorboard and the seat. This is the fan motor. There's a blade on top. You could turn a switch on and it would blow heated air on the bottom of the seat. This is the seat heater, a view from the top side. The two tubes you saw on the bottom came in here. The engine coolant circulates around this coil. A switch on the dash would turn this fan on and blow hot air on the bottom of the driver's seat. 1955 heated seats. We have fan switches here, one on the right, one on the left. 1955 dual climate control. I have two things to show you. This area is rusted out. The wheel spare tire carrier, that's typical. Water would settle in this area. If the trunk seal leaked any at all, the water would stay here and rust through. So that's got to be repaired. This area here, we had a hole rotted through on the rocker panel over here, and it was because this hole was stopped up with dirt. So the water stayed in the rocker panel and eventually rusted its way through. The rest of the car looks pretty solid. I think we've got a good unit to build.
When we get a car in, it has a lot of little parts, nuts, bolts, springs, all the tight fasteners that hold the car together, and they're all in the condition of how the car was, rusted, dirty, corroded, greased up. And a lot of these parts you cannot find, and so we have to restore them. First thing we do is we take all the parts off, and if you look on this table, you'll see all these bags. And these bags are all listed like, okay, this is the right turn signal. As you can see, it's all corroded and nasty around here, and this will have to be restored to new condition, so when we put it on the car, it'll look as nice as the new paint in the car or whatever, interior or whatever else. We take these rusty parts out. If you can see here how rusty and nasty. This is how the bolts come off the car before we restore the car. And then we take them out of the bags that we put them in, and we clean them up, and when we're done, this is what we have. And so when they go back in the car, they look like they did when the car was built originally. After we pick the bag up, we'll select a suitable tray, and you want to make sure that you keep all the parts together, because there's thousands of parts on this car, and if you don't keep them together, there's no way you'll remember. And you'll see we also mark it, glove box and screws. So make sure that you mark your bag and you put your parts here, and you start with this tray. Then you just select whichever one you want to start with. We're going to start with the glove box hinge and the vise. Now we have put the part in the vise, and we're going to knock off the big rust with this wire brush. And we just put it on there and we just scrape it like this. And you want to get it to where it's smooth. And then after we do that, we'll go to a sanding paper or sanding block, and we'll get it to where we can paint it. Okay, we have left the sanding area, and now we are over to paint station. As you can see, these parts have all been painted back to their original color, and they are now ready to be put into their clean assembly bag and then put back on the table, ready to be installed on the car.
Thanks for watching the latest progress on our build. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss an update or our latest classic car story. As always, these can only be found here on Double Clutch.